Welcome to Great Overload. I'm Anthony, and Microsoft decides that we don't have enough versions of Windows 10 and announces Windows 10 Pro for Workstations. Let's take a look. Microsoft has another version of Windows, and I'll wait till the thoughts at the end, but this version of Windows is going to be released at the Fall Creators Update. And I'm starting to try to keep track of all these versions of Windows, and they're starting to add up quite a bit. And I'm trying to think back to all my dealings with Linux, and I kind of deal with that on like a weekly basis. Once a week I probably dive into Linux a little bit, either CentOS, Ubuntu, SUSE now, and other stuff like that. And I also have Mac OS. I'm trying to think of how many versions they have per each of their OSs. I think like 2 is the maximum. If I recall correctly. Leave it in the comments below because I'm trying to remember. But I think Microsoft should be going that direction, not adding more. But let's dive into some of the features here real fast and go through them. But start off, we got the ReFS, which is a resilient file system. I got my notes down here as well. And this is just to provide cloud-grade resiliency for data fault tolerant storage spaces and managing large volumes. It's supposed to be resilient to corruption and optimized for large data volumes and also autocorrecting. So I think this is a great addition to Windows itself. I don't remember if this is all in Pro or not. I'm trying to remember all the features that Microsoft announced this last Creators Update and everything else. But this is just something that probably should be rolled into all OSs and just be taken advantage of. Then you got persistent memory as well, and this is supposed to provide performance that will require non-volatile memory modules, and I think this is a great addition. I think that this might be a more pro workstation type aspect or feature that is there. So it's quite interesting that they're adding this stuff in, and it's nice that they're actually adding this all to Windows and improving it as well. And then we got faster file sharing that I would love to have. I'd love to have faster file sharing here. But this feature is called SMB Direct, which supports using network adapters that have remote direct memory access, RDMA, capabilities. So with this is you're going to have increased throughput, low latency, and low CPU utilization. And I think that's probably a benefit for a lot of people that are especially doing CPU heavy tasks that need that lower latency, especially if they're transferring files back and forth while they're doing that CPU intensive task as well. Especially with analytics and everything else starting up today and taking off as well, or a lot of video editing and everything else that you have these machines running, and you're probably transferring files in the background as well. That can be a huge benefit as to go through. So then you get the expanded hardware support, and I think this is great, but I don't like it's a new version. So the expanded hardware support, a lot of Windows insiders, I was one of them, expressed that there was limits on the raw power of the machine, and that's why they have this now. They were going for high server parts of Intel Xeon, AMD Opterons, now up to 4 CPUs. The current is 2, and massive memory, 6 terabytes. Currently today is limited to 2. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's a lot of memory, but I do know a lot of workloads that if price wasn't an option, they would go for the full 6 right off the bat. So it was very interesting though to me reading more in the blog post, and I was going through and like, okay, so what is this? And but first off, how much are they going to charge? Because I didn't see that anywhere. But the performance, they say that performance is a very important requirement to this new world of fast-paced innovation, and we continue to invest in Windows 10 Pro for Workstations to enable power users to maximize every aspect of their high-performance device. Windows 10 Pro for Workstation utilizes significant investment that Windows has made in recent releases to scaling across a high number of logical processors and large amounts of memory. The architectural changes will take into effect with the kernel and take full advantage of the high-end processor families as Xeon and AMD Opteron, and this high number of core counts in single or multi-processor configurations. Now, they say AMD Opteron. I'm guessing they also include AMD Epic in that. Don't know about that, but Microsoft, that was announced. It's released, I guess. So all this in there. But my thoughts on this is, why wasn't this rolled into Enterprise and Pro? Why do we have to come out with a new version of this? Most of this stuff is you could be utilized in both of those versions. I mean, if they want the fast-paced innovation, I mean, both of those editions address people that are in the middle of innovation and they want to be innovating and doing the fast-paced stuff in the new world of innovation, right? Microsoft. And I would like to see a lot of these features rolled in because, as you know, I'm a power user. I write code. I do a lot of different things, and I like to take advantage of a lot of this, or some of this stuff, especially with the file sharing and everything else, to maybe the file system, to be able to enable a lot of those data sets, or the items that I have, to be able to take advantage of it. And let me know if your users out there as well that we need to take advantage of that. So I wish that Microsoft was starting to reduce versions and include more things, incentivize, and basically be like, hey, we've been working on Windows 10 for a while, or Windows, and guess what? We are going to deliver, and we're including more into what you already have. I think that's a great benefit as well. That Microsoft could have took, and they could have taken advantage of that, rather than, if this is another product that they're going to charge for, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, the price. So with that, let me know what your thoughts are. I am in this middle of, why was there another version of Windows released? That's where I'm at right now. And let me know what your thoughts are. Make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. Thanks for watching Gray Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe.